Hey, hobo. Hey, Steel. Hey, Dandy. Hey, Flanya. Thoughts on having fun? Meh. Hey, Christine. Hey, Lois. I am not in Chantel's chat, no. No, I am not in Chantel's chat. Am I winning? Probably not. Who fucking knows? Hey, Swampy. Hey, Arnold. Crazy stream? I don't know. Fake is probably funnier than I am. Says pretending to me. Yeah, I think they've shown up. They've shown up in my chat. Hey, Squeeze. Chris, it's not broken. It's just it. I just cannot. Hey, Rara. I cannot go live on my computer. For some reason, it just does not goddamn work. Hey, piss and vinegar. It's not broken. It's just, it will not load. Like, I'll try to go live and it won't fucking load for some reason. Fair enough, Lois. And yes, I did hear about the mass shooting in Buffalo. Um, Thoughts on Blood Moon? Pretty goth. Try to turn it off now. Come to think of it, I think it might have started after the last time I rebooted. Yeah, yeah, white supremacist shooting. Yep, yep. White supremacy is the greatest terror threat in the United States. I am not from America, but I hear, yeah, I see the news about it. What's wild is Canada doesn't have a gun problem. Hey, Bell, we do have a white supremacy problem. Like, Canada actually has a larger white supremacist issue than the US. We have more white supremacists. Like, Canada actually has more white supremacists per capita than the US does, which is fucking wild. Hey, Marie. Yeah. Yeah, Canada's got a huge white supremacist issue. The only difference is we don't have the easy access to guns that the US does. Not that Canada doesn't have guns. Um, so on from Plato's Timaeus. I haven't read that. Yeah, it's with Canada, we have the gun laws we have in place tend to be pretty effective at stopping the crime statistics. But no, I mean, is there a tie between MLP and white supremacy? That'd be an interesting topic for a study. I've like that's not something I've ever seen anyone ever talk about. Black man from England, and I hate that they hate me because I steal their women. Hey, Edie. Yeah, it's like Canada doesn't have the gun violence that the US does. We have hey, Houston, we have good enough gun laws to prevent mass shootings. Mostly. There's a few here and there. We do still get a couple here and there. I think usually with guns obtained in the US, funnily enough. Um, have I ever shot a gun? I feel like I did when I was young, but I have no recollections of it. I feel like I might have when I was young, that I went to a gun range in that was in Cornwall. America's getting bad with right wing extremism. Yep. Yeah, I mean it's because there's an entire political party that's ramping it up. Hey Lisa, I mean the Republican Party is just pushing white supremacy. Was I around any blacks growing up? Not really. No, the part of town that I lived in didn't really have much Sage now. Didn't really have many black people. Who disproportionately commits violent crime in Canada? I haven't really looked that up actually. Cherry Pepsi or Cherry Coke? Cherry Coke. My son took me to the range in Vegas. Fun but freezing inside. Live in an overwhelming white Caucasian state in the Pacific Northwest of Oregon. No diversity here. Yeah. So I drink water? Yeah. Yeah, I drink water sometimes. I do not smoke or vape. Lumpy? Actually, I was looking at. No, I did not watch any. Why would I watch any of the video? Actually, Swampy has. I saw Mario trending on Twitter, so I was looking at that. My pronoun. Right now, my pronouns are still he, him. I will post when that changes. Nah, Dave Chappelle isn't my favorite comedian. Mitch Hedberg. Mitch Hedberg is probably my favorite comedian. Which one has the customer? I don't know. I don't cook. Sure thing, Credo Ape. Yeah, sure thing, Swampy. You're free to cook. I don't cook. Rickroll video of the buffalo shooting. That sounds horrible. No, I don't feel. I don't feel like I need to read Jordan Peterson. Yes, there is a better way, Houston. HRT, yes, I. Hopefully this week. This week, I plan on going to a clinic to ask about starting HRT. So, I do plan on starting soon. Eddie Izzard and Ricky Gervais are two of my favorites. I'm able to afford it. I mean, we'll see if I can. Bill Maher was on CNN talking about the shooting last night. Who fucking cares? I don't want to know Bill Maher's take on the shooting. Bill Maher's a dumbass. I'm trying, beat bet. Anthrax. That's some okay points. Well, good for him. He's still a jackass. Bill Maher claims he can make lasagna for less than $15. Probably. He probably doesn't know how much it costs to make food. Will I wear my beard to the HRT place? Good question. Probably. I probably won't bother shaving ahead of time. If I've had, yeah. Hey, Tuhu. Thoughts on Melania Trump? She sucks too. I've never been on 4chan, but I've been online long enough to have heard a lot about 4chan. Hey, Kristen. Including the fact that 4chan has played a major role in pushing extremism. A lot of people radicalized by 4chan. Laura C., I would not. I have no interest in anything to do with Kiwi Forum. Ana forums, no. The weave industry, seems cool. Likely Hobo. I mean, it was definitely, it was part of it. What have I been up to? Nothing. Fuck all as usual. Psycheval? I don't know. I don't know Psych. I haven't really looked much into it. Live stream journal entries? I mean, if I had anything to, like, if I had anything to journal about, I have nothing in my life worth talking about. I never do anything. So, Elden Ring, no. No, Elden Ring is not my type of game. It's too tough. Games like Elden Ring, they require too much patience and skill. And no. No, thank you. Same with Halo. Like it takes skill to play Halo, and I don't have the patience to learn those types of games. But yeah, I mean, when I have news about, when I have news regarding it's not that I hate challenges. It's just if I'm playing a game, I want to have fun. Yunnan, yes, I will start shaving. Maybe Phantom King, but Red Dead Redemption 2? Probably not. I've watched a Let's Play of Red Dead Redemption 2. Just yeah. Bench, deadlift, or squat? None of the above. Nope. I never watched the original Top Gun, funnily enough. No, home economics. Yeah, it was a required thing. There's like half a semester. I think it required like half a semester of shop and half a semester of home ec or something like that. Not sure if OHIP covers Josh Wheaton Firefly or Josh Moon Kiwi Farm. Wheaton, I guess. That's on regrowing your foreskin. I'm pretty sure it's not something that happens. Who's Josh Moon? Somebody I don't care about. Tucker Carlson or Kyle Rittenhouse? They're both awful. That's on circumcision. I have no issue with it. I was circumcised. Games you like? Aside from Mass Effect, I do like visual novels. Uh, After I finish playing Mass Effect, I will probably end up like after I finish the Mass Effect trilogy, I'll probably end up doing like a visual novel or something like that. Visual novels and walking simulators aren't games. Sure, they are. Or people you'd receive listening to. I'm not sure what that means. Infant circumcision child abuse. I don't know. Does Red Dead Redemption push a misogynist narrative? How far am I into Mass Effect? So I am currently playing Mass Effect 2. Uh, I am pretty decent ways through. Maybe a third of the way through total. I figure I'm probably about a third of the way total through the game. Doesn't it? I don't know. Like I said, having been circumcised myself, it's not something that I can get worked up about, to be honest. Castles never. I mean, you could definitely tell that it was made by men, and you could definitely tell that it was white men. You can definitely tell that Mass Effect was made primarily by white guys. No question there. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Loving Strange New Worlds. Yeah, I am really enjoying Strange New World so far. Second episode was really good, really cool. Um, I mean, I still enjoy the game. I still enjoy the games. They're fun games. Star Trek episode about circumcision. EA is all about diversity. Yeah, Uhura. Yeah, I liked the focus on Uhura. I like them like I'm getting the feeling that like each episode is going to sort of spotlight a different character. Um, so I do like that. I did like Uhura's spotlight there and showing sort of who she is. I'm aware of that, Dandy. Margaret Sanger was terrible, but it, she's still Planned Parenthood as a whole still does a lot of really good work. They should replace all the guns in games with pizza toppings and tacos. All right. Hey, Gimpy. Making opiates and video games be like, I don't know. I'm not a scholar. I don't study that shit. At this point, don't know much. What's my favorite type of opiate? I don't take any. I don't take any opiates. I don't take any drugs. Like I just don't take drugs. Uh, no, I don't do reactions. What was the yeah, as far as like video games causing violence, what was that quote? Sorry, give me a second here. Ah, I remember reading a quote once years ago, um, about somebody saying that Like, if video games influence people's behavior, then Pac-Man would have caused people to hang out in dark rooms with bright lights and loud music. Hey, Michael. Basically saying that if not, you're not blocked, Voxus. Yeah, somebody basically saying that if video games influenced behavior, then raves would be a thing. So yes, we talked about it, Kimpy. Hey, Ham. Hey, MP. Hey, Nisi. No, I don't care about lunar eclipse. Hey, plain cheeseburger. Uh, here's the quote. Let me see if I can find who it's from. Yeah. Marcus Brigstock. If Pac-Man had affected us as kids, we'd all be running around in dark rooms, munching pills, and listening to repetitive electronic music. Thanks, Goda. Hi, Max. That deletion tells can deal with one person in there? Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some luckily my chat we haven't gotten the horrible trolls just yet in my chat, but they're coming. They'll be here soon enough, I'm sure. Hack is one of the best films. I don't know that I've ever seen Hackers. I don't know that I've ever watched Hackers. Why do I think you get so many trolls? Because I'm associated with Chantel. Hyperborea? No, never been there. Intermittent fasting? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Limbo or Audiate? I don't know. It's not Chantel's fault, no. It's just Chantel has a lot of haters and trolls. So they latch on to me as well. Thanks, Lois. And I've earned a few trolls of my own. Let Chantel have so many trolls. I don't know. Because people are assholes. This is People are assholes, especially online where they can be assholes without any repercussions. Tartarian Empire? I don't even know what that is. Do I mind when people clip my videos? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what people do. I have not Smichael. No, this shirt was always brown. Make sure to report before black. Ah, probably not much point. Where's Casey? I'm not sure actually where she is right now. Somewhere. So Chantel's, I mean, Chantel's fucked up, but she was getting shit tons of trolls before she made any sort of mistakes. So, Stephanie, I mean, if there's a topic that's worth Like if a topic comes up that's worth spending more than 5 seconds on, then I'll talk about it. Is HRT a drug? Well, yes. Estrogen is a drug. Testosterone is a drug. So yeah. Do I think Alex Jones gonna have a field day? Yeah. We'll see how he finds a way to blame it on the left. I mean, he's certainly not going to admit that white supremacy is a problem, especially because he's pushing white supremacy. Hey, folks, he'll probably end up calling it another fucking false flag. That's a that's a an idea that's already being pushed by plenty of right wingers. False flag. Though I think the most common reaction, even more than false flag, most people on the right are just like, oh, it's mental health. It's a mental health issue. Clearly, he was crazy. It's mental health. We need to focus on mental health. Not that they'll actually like put any actual money towards dealing with mental health issues. No, no. I mean, they're not going to actually, you know, do anything about mental health issues. They're just going to say it's a mental health issue. He was a loner with no friends. From England, we haven't. Yeah, I'm aware of that. But the point, Stacked, was to shoot up black people. He was targeting black people. That's yes, there were a couple of white people who got killed as well, who got shot as well. But it was driven by white supremacy. He was specifically targeting black people. Yeah. He drove to a black neighborhood so he could shoot black people. It's not that I don't care about them. Just okay, good night, Nisi. They died because they were in proximity to black people. Or they got shot, I guess. You know, the white people got shot because they were in proximity to the black people who were being targeted. It was specifically, he was specifically targeting black people. As noted, his manifesto talks about replacement theory. He was a white supremacist. He said white people are being replaced. Exactly. No, no, I haven't read the manifesto, but I've read, you know, people talking about the manifesto. Hey, Vicky. I'm not going to read it. Fuck that. I do not think white people are being replaced. And even if we were, who fucking cares? Who gives a shit if white people get replaced? Hey, Froggy. We will all be brownish color one day. Yeah, probably not. Um, like I don't honestly. Races will always exist to some extent, I suspect, but there'll be fewer people who are sort of entirely white or entirely black or entirely Asian or entirely whatever. You know, intermingling is going to become more and more common. My race is different. The hell do I look like, a biologist? I'm not actually sure. Like I know that all humans were black at one point. Yep. Like I know that to some extent it's people adapting to their geography. Have I experienced racism? No, I'm white. How am I going to experience racism when I'm this fucking white? White is a race though? Eh, I don't know that white people can experience racism because the thing is, in Western culture, um, white people are the dominant race. We are the politically and economically dominant race. There's no real denying that if you're going to be at all honest. Politically and economically, we are at present in Western society the dominant race. Which you can't really, I don't think that it really counts as discrimination when it's targeted at the dominant group. What about the Irish? Yeah, I mean, 100 years ago, the Irish weren't considered white. Here in Japan, I and my children experienced racism many, many times. Yeah. Yeah, like 100 years ago, the Irish weren't white. And, the Italians weren't white. Whiteness as a concept changes over time. They actually black? No, they weren't black. They weren't white. Romanian people get called, yeah, because the Romani in the US, in North America, aren't white. No, Asian people aren't white. White people experience racism when they are part of a group that is not considered part of whiteness. Because, like, that's the thing to remember. Whiteness is a concept that changes over time. You're not being consistent. Mom? White supremacy is not consistent. It changes over time. South Korea, there are some clothes that are not allowed. Only Koreans allowed. That's weird to experience. I suppose it would be. Hello, Ms. D. Lady Lay. I mean, it used to be that white is an American concept. Um, may have started. I don't know the history well enough. It probably, yeah. It's definitely an American concept. I feel like it did get um, exported from the U.S. To other countries as well. Felton Fields? I don't have friends. Duh. Again, Lady Leia, it at one point they Irish and Italians were part of the out group. Uh, they were denied the benefits of being part of the white power structure. Do I have any white sheets? Nah. No, my sheets are blue, light blue. Any lesbian romance novels? I don't really read. I don't really read romance. Romance novels as a rule. They're white, but not for the purposes of white supremacy. As far as white supremacists were concerned, the Irish weren't white. They were Irish. Italians weren't white. They were Italians. So that's the thing to remember about white supremacy. It deter white supremacy is largely based on who gets left out. So as far as white supremacists were concerned, back in early 20th century and earlier, they did not consider the Irish to be white. They did not consider Italians to be white. And today, white supremacists do not consider the Romani people to be white. They still look at groups of people and say they are not white. Thoughts on theory that Roosevelt was black? Seems doubtful to me. Regardless, I'm not a scholar on this stuff. There's people who've written about it in extensive detail. If if you really want details, look it up yourself. Do the research yourself. Can we get a link? Nope. I own a few t-shirts. I probably could get some more. Pepsi or Coke? I prefer Coke over Pepsi. Dr. Pepper? Nah. Shopping hall stream with new t-shirts? Yeah, it's an idea. Consider water? I mean, yeah, I drink plenty of water as well. When did I last leave the house? Depends. Like I took some garbage bags out last night or the night before. Was it last night or the night before that I took out? Yeah, taking garbage bags out. Beyond that, what's when would have been the last time I went out for other things? Was it sometime last week? I feel like it was just a few days ago. What the hell did Chantel and I do? Shit. Let me go shopping. I don't remember what we did. Last time I left with Chantel? Oh, long, long, long ass time. I mean, the reality is like I don't have a reason to leave the house. Want to date Gwen Stefani? I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to date Gwen Stefani? She's talented, rich, and really good looking. Is that not pathetic? I never said it wasn't. Eh, we've moved on, Leia. Life by Jen is depressed in her bed. Yep, I know that. What is it, Pixie? MTV Spring Break? I didn't have MTV. I didn't have MTV growing up. Yell really loud so it could be heard on Chantel's stream. All right, give me a second. There you go, Pixie. Happy? There you go, Pixie. Did that satisfy you? We heard you. I mean, that was the point. Bill Chantel was stop burping. It's like telling a fish to stop swimming. Male pattern baldness, Yunan. Hurrah. Big Fish. I have watched Big Fish. I enjoyed it well enough. I don't really feel a need to rewatch it, honestly. Ain't any interesting fetishes? Not really. Honestly, I'm pretty vanilla. No swampy. You and McGregor? What would I paint my nails? Or would I paint my nails in a silver color? Uh, Black. I don't know. Thing is, I keep my nails short and I have stubby little nails. Like, look at these nails. What is there to paint on these nails? How far is trash bin? I mean, I can see it from my window, so not far at all. Secular talk, I do not. Yeah, like I wouldn't mind painting my nails, but there's no room to paint on them. I feel like they just look weird with how short they are, with how short and stubby they are. And no, I am not getting long nails, whether fake or real. No, that is not happening. Fuck that noise. Like, honestly, long nails just seem like a massive pain in the ass. They just seem frustrating. Like when I'm typing, I tend to like, I tend to have my fingers, like this, down. I don't want to have to type like this. Eyelash extensions? No, because I am paranoid about putting anything near my eyes. Get a haircut? Yeah, I definitely need to get it trimmed. Like honestly, hoping your parents will finally let you start using puberty blockers. Any advice? I mean, kind of depends on what state you're in at this point, but just talk to them about it. Let them know how you feel. Let them know that it's important to you. Get them to take you to I don't shave or wax my eyebrows. I don't do either. Get them to take you to a clinic where you can talk to somebody about it. Hey, Milton, should I watch Strange New Worlds? Yeah, it's really good. It's a really good show so far. The first two episodes have been great. Um, no, 13 seems like about the right age to be taking puberty blockers because that's about the age that you're going to be hitting puberty. What would I do if I woke up tomorrow and I was black? Freak out at the fact that magic apparently exists? Swampy? I mean, I'll still be attracted to women, but statistically, like realistically, I'm probably going to end up dating a trans person, trans woman. Did a 13-year-old consent? Yes. 13-year-old can consent to puberty blockers. Yes. Absolutely, they can. No, not detrimental physically or psychologically. No. Um, thing is, it is extremely, it's actually extremely rare for, they're not dangerous. Not legal at all, but no, they are absolutely at an age where they can start puberty blockers. Um, and in fact, that is actually what pretty much every reputable pediatric health organization recommends. They all recommend it. Wouldn't there be a long term? No. No, I mean it's a temporary thing. If they change their mind, like if they change their minds, which they rarely do, by the way, uh, generally, like most people, like most kids who start transitioning, continue with their transition. Very few of them actually detransition. Um, Beyond that, there's actually no long-term health benefits. Can you reverse? Yes, puberty blockers are temporary. You can come off them at any time, at which point puberty resumes. Can't there be irreparable harm done? It is extremely rare for there to be any long-term harm to puberty blockers. Meanwhile, forcing someone to go through the wrong puberty does have psychological impacts. Like forcing someone to go through the wrong puberty is traumatic. It is traumatic for them. How do they know what puberty? Because they know what gender they are. Yeah, they have the mindset. They know what gender they are. Most, the majority of people know what gender they are. That includes children. Kids know what gender they're supposed to be. Yeah, there is such a thing as wrong puberty. Kids are dumb, sure, but they know what gender they're supposed to be. They do. Did I know my gender at 13? I mean, at 13, I was pretty confident I was a boy. Now do they know what gender is? Socialization. They do. Puberty blockers aren't lifelong now. They're a temporary thing that can be stopped at any time. Their brain hasn't developed yet. Doesn't really matter. It's developed enough for them to know who they are. So here's the thing. I felt like a girl trapped in a man's body for the past few months, I'm pretty sure I know. And that's the thing. Like, people think that kids, like, when people talk about, like, kids being transgender, like, the idea is that oh, kids kids don't know what they want. Kids want to be, my kid wanted to be a dinosaur when he was 6. They don't really grasp that when kids come out as transgender, it is not a spur of the moment thing. They have spent weeks or months or years thinking about it. It has been a part of their lives for as long as they can remember. It's not a phase. Like, it's not just a phase that they're going through. It's something where they'll do it for months or years. It'll be something that they think about a lot. This isn't something like this isn't, you know, kid spent an hour pretending to be a T-Rex before getting distracted by their favorite show. That's not what's happening. It's not trendy. It's not trendy. What's happening is that people are feeling more comfortable coming out. That's the pressure to become. No, you weren't. Nobody fucking pressured you to become trans. It's not trendy. People are feeling more confident in coming out now. Hey, Tammy, that's the thing. Parents can force it. They can try. It's not going to fucking work, and parents are more likely to force cis heteronormativity on their child. So there was a there was a guy. Uh, this is a long time ago. I think this is decades ago, I believe. There was a boy. There was a boy who had some sort of botched surgery or something like that on his penis. So the parents and doctors decided to just cut the penis off and raise the child and raise this boy as a girl. Kid was raised to believe he was a girl. He spent his whole life depressed, knowing that there was something wrong, knowing that he was not a girl. He always knew it. People know their genders. Let me see if I can get David Reimer. So yeah, David Reimer. Botched circumcision. Between the ages. So yeah, this is from the Wikipedia article. Reimer's realization that he was not a girl crystallized between the ages of 9 and 11 years, and he transitioned to living as a male at age 15. So so people know their genders. Like people absolutely know who they are supposed, or at least they know what gender they are. Figuring out who you are is a lifelong thing, but people know their genders. Even as children, they know their genders. Not everybody. Some people do struggle with it for until adulthood. Yeah, you mentioned that later. Gender fluid? Yeah, they usually know that too. What do you I don't change the posters. Mystique? Mystique is above Spider-Man. He's not visible here. Or she's not visible. Let's see. Still there. How do you start with knowing your gender? I mean, it's pretty simple. Society pretty much teaches people. Society raises people to believe they're cisgender. Is sort of what it comes down to. Um, like that's the assumption is that people are cisgender. And I mean, statistically speaking, the vast majority of people are. Trans people are very rare. You know, trans people are a very, very, very small percentage of the population. So yeah, just people are just how many genders are there? Tons, plenty. Not ignoring anything, I'm just pointing out. Um, I'm just pointing out that this boy was raised as a girl and always thought that he was, and always knew that he was different. Like, can there be more than two? Because gender is a social construct. Shannon, no. My depression and my gender are, I feel, are pretty much unrelated. I don't feel like my depression is related to my gender. My depression is just because I'm depressed because I suffer depression. Bill Maher made the argument that LGBT is that's because Bill Maher's a fucking idiot. Bill Maher's an old jackass. Hey, Gasly. Chronic, not so, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that I have chronic depression. Because my mom and my brother both have it as well. Like my depression, I'm pretty sure is hereditary. Because my mom has it, my brother has it. Shouldn't I be on medication? I'm going to. I'm going to start. Don't go outside. I know. Chantel just says chronic. All right, I like that. I like that one, Marin. Do I think it'll ever work again? I hope so. Fun fact, Craig. Depression doesn't always give a shit about your circumstances. Did I go outside? Nah. Why aren't I on an antidepressant? Because I hated how numb I felt on on antidepressants. Again, Bell, it's not that I'm depressed about anything in particular. It's that I have depression. I suffer depression. It's a mental health issue. It's not situational. It's not something. I did try a few different ones or combinations, I guess. I tried different combinations, a couple of them, but yeah. Appropriate. What I had, I was taking Cipralex, which then got supplemented with bupropion. Bupropion. Yeah. Well, once I get a family doctor, I'm still fucking waiting. Uh, like I'm still waiting to get assigned a family doctor because I prefer to have somebody who just has my entire like just go to the same person every time. Tricyclic antidepressants. Like I said, right now I right now my health card's expired. Walk-ins can help. I know, like I've gone to walk-ins, walk-in clinics, but like I said, I'd rather have one doctor that I go to. Medication for medicine. I mean, maybe. St. John's wort for 3 weeks. Hey, Sil. Yes, well. See, like I said, I want to get a family doctor so that I can have just go to the same doctor every time, rather than having to go to a different one every time. Hey, Jessica, because it's just inconvenient having to explain it every single time that I go to a clinic. Been with my family doctor for 15 years now. Yeah, it's Ontario has not a lot of family doctors available right now. I mean, I'm on a waiting list. There's an actual waiting list for it in Ontario. So I'm on a waiting list right now. Wish I would go more. Nah. Get free healthcare to an extent. It's not everything is free in Ontario. Penguins are happy, be chill like them. Not doing well. Eh. You're not banned, You're not banned, Leia. What do I do for a living? Right now, this is what I'm doing for a living. You're not banned, Leia. I'm not sure what comment that you were talking about. Entirely possible entirely possible I either missed it because the chat happened to move just fast enough at that moment, or I might have ignored it just because I didn't feel like it needed a response. How do I expect to date after the transition? About as well as I date now. Try alcohol. I don't like alcohol. The American healthcare system. The American healthcare system is garbage. Like the U.S. healthcare system is ridiculously overpriced. It's just obscenely overpriced. Sounds bad. It's not though. You pay more for shittier results. Like literally, you are paying more for your healthcare and not getting equivalent results. Rather be able to go to the doctor than have to wait. I mean, entirely possible that you may still have to wait. Even in the US. Not always true, depends on the state healthcare need. Yeah. And I mean, I haven't been to the doctor because that's sort of my choice. I could go to a doctor anytime I wanted. I just don't go. I don't I don't have to worry about going bankrupt if I happen to get sick. I'm on a waiting list for a family doctor. I can go to a walk-in clinic anytime, or I can go to a ER anytime. But like in the US, people will avoid going to a doctor because they can't afford it. Because if they get sick, they will end up bankrupt. Key to not going bankrupt is getting health insurance. Even with health insurance, they may still go bankrupt because health insurance has limits on what it'll cover. And beyond that, fun fact, in the US, doctors spend a lot of their time fighting with the insurance companies to get paid. Like US doctors have to fight in order to get the insurance companies to actually pay out. And that's like, and there's also the patients. They're fucking sick and they're having to call their insurance companies every goddamn day in order to get paid out. It's ridiculous. Well, that's great for you, Auntie. A lot of other people don't have that benefit. Pay on what? On anything. Like, it's no insurance company in the world, like no insurance company in the world, no matter what they're covering, ever actually wants to pay out. Like, I mean, that's like the whole point of an insurance company is to make money. And actually paying out means that they're losing money. Doesn't matter what country it is, doesn't matter what they're covering. None of them ever actually want to pay out. So if they can find a way to even just delay paying out coverage, they will. So, like, insurance company? Well, yeah. We have to pay weekly for health insurance, figure that out. And yeah, and I am of the opinion that health should not be for profit. That staying alive should not have a profit motive. Like, that just feels fucked up to me. Another issue is I forget what they're called, but hospitals have a pricing book. Every hospital has its own pricing book. None of them are like, there's no consistency between them. Like, an x-ray at this hospital will have a wildly different price from an x-ray at that hospital that's like 6 blocks away. Like, that's another thing with the US is there's no, every hospital gets to set its own price for everything. And a lot of hospitals will set ridiculous prices. They will set prices of 55, like they'll charge $20 for a fucking Dixie cup. Like, it's something that US hospitals will do. I'm not bad-mouthing America. I'm just saying, Tylenol $25. Yeah. The US healthcare system is abysmal. The profit motive that drives US healthcare means that a lot of people suffer. 10,000 to stay overnight at a hospital. Yeah. Like, you will see all sorts of horror stories. Just massive numbers of horror stories from people who have had to deal with the US healthcare system. Like, there's people out there having, like, there's articles and videos and books about how to navigate the US healthcare system. Ways to fucking like, a lot of times, like, if you just ask to see the bill, like, hospitals will charge out. And like, if you're underinsured, as a lot of people are, a lot of people in the US are underinsured because there's a lot of workplaces that underinsure their employees. So a lot of underinsured people will end up getting massive hospital bills. And a trick for dealing with those is to actually see the bill. Ask to see the breakdown. And a lot of time, that'll actually help you get it reduced. The fact that you have to find ways to uh, I don't even go on Reddit. Like, you have to find ways to reduce the hospital bills. It's ridiculous. And the thing is, you are actually paying more than Canadians do. Like, you pay more for your healthcare than Canadians do. Right. The fact that the taxpayers are paying the bill does make a difference. It actually keeps the prices reasonable. Hey, NASA Jen. Like, you pay more and you get shittier results. Fun fact, uh, mortality rates for mothers are on the rise. Like, infant mortality rate and mother mortality rates are on the rise in Canada or in the US. Only country and only developed country where those rates are increasing. Women are dying. More women are dying now from childbirth in the US. Those rates are going up in the US. Nowhere else. Only the US. And how does that how do you do that? Mansplaining. Fuck off. If anyone took this on, they don't have to be shot. Not necessarily shot, they'd just be completely, they'd get character assassinated. Like I said, I don't know about shot. It's just character assassination. They would hire private detectives to dig up every single bit of dirt about the person that they could. And if they couldn't dig up any dirt, they would just make shit up. They would use the media because insurance companies make, insurance companies and medical companies are huge sponsors of every media channel, every media source. Like, all of them are receive a lot of ad funding from some funded on me, probably. Like, insurance companies and medical companies and all of them, they are huge. They do a lot of advertising money to all of the to every media organization. Whether TV or print, all of them. They do tons of ad money, which means you think the fucking news is ever gonna actually go after the insurance companies? Fuck no. Only when they have absolutely no choice but to run articles about the insurance companies do they actually run articles critical of insurance companies. Otherwise, no. You don't bite the hand that feeds you. It's slavery still widely practiced in India. I can believe it. Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan's an asshole. Honestly, I thought Piers Morgan was a douchebag ever since America's Got Talent. My first exposure to Piers Morgan was when he was one of the judges on America's Got Talent, and even there, I thought he was the douchiest one on there. If my child didn't have a lawsuit from an accident, the medical bills would have destroyed us financially. Yep. Consider donating to this member. I don't think they would accept my donation. My problem with the media? Most of it's corporate owned. Which honestly means most of it is pretty garbage. America Got Talent is just big drums. Yeah. That's my problem with reality TV in general. Like that's my problem with those sort of talent shows. Like I don't like the fact that all those talent competitions are so focused on like drama and tension and all that. It's like just let the people fucking sing. You know? Just show me the goddamn songs. Don't spend 20 goddamn minutes on this fucking sob story. Here's the editor of the Sun who used to hack into murder teenagers' voicemails to try to mine dirt on them. Yep, I heard about that, AM. Yeah, I didn't know about that when he was I didn't know about that when he was on America's Got Talent. Is well after I stopped watching America's Got Talent that I heard about that, and yeah, holy shit, yeah, holy fucking shit, how the fuck is Piers Morgan allowed to practice journalism? How is he still allowed to do it? Like, how did he fucking hacked voicemails, deleted voicemails? Like, how does that not leave him? Like, I don't get how that didn't just result in him being completely 100% discredited by the entire fucking planet. I don't get how he is able to still find work after that. After that ghoulish bullshit. Like that was just horrible. Just morally reprehensible to an extreme degree. Like he was in charge of, he was the editor when the Sun was doing that shit. It falls on him. The buck stops with him, and yet he didn't get fucking banned from television after that. Yeah. These things are. What, you think that making parents believe that their dead kid is still alive by hacking the fucking voicemail and checking the messages, you think that doesn't actually matter? Of course it fucking matters. Piers Morgan is a fucking monster for that. Can be banned from television. I suppose if Bobcat Goldthwait didn't get banned from television after setting Letterman's couch on fire, it's probably pretty tough to do. But I still remember. I didn't watch it, but I still remember hearing about Bobcat Goldthwait setting Letterman's fucking couch on fire. And he still got on TV after that. So I suppose it is really hard to get banned from television entirely. But hey, Yorkie. Should Piers Morgan be sent to Blockland? Yes. Piers Morgan should be blocked from anything involving news or journalism. Piers Morgan isn't a fucking journalist. Piers Morgan is a goddamn propagandist. And also, just kind of a douche. Though speaking of America's Got Talent, I always found it weird that America's Got Talent, when it first launched, like for the first couple of seasons, uh, America's Got Talent, the judges were two British people and a Canadian. That's weird, right? Like that, like it's weird that the judges on America's Got Talent were two British people, two Brits, and a Canadian. No American judges on America's Got Talent early on. That's weird, right? Am I the only one who thinks that was kind of weird that they did that? It just strikes me as weird. I feel like America's Got Talent should have had American judges. Why is that? Because it's America's Got Talent, and like there's no American on the, like it just struck me as really weird. If they had an American judge, it would be biased. Americans think people with English accents. There is that. I think there definitely is an element where people think that that British accents make someone smarter, which I think any British person would be like, "Are you fucking kidding?" But like, there's also like obviously they wanted a Simon Cowell. They wanted a Simon Cowell type person on America's Got Talent. That was what Piers Morgan was there for. Piers Morgan was there to be the Simon Cowell character. You know, the mean British person. I'm not sure. Also, the other thing with the America's Got Talent, well, I suppose it doesn't really matter. I'd also note that with America's Got Talent, only one of them actually had talent. Someone had the weird sexual tension with Paula and left. Yeah. Yeah, like having I found that oh hey Vegas doll. Howie Mandel. I like Howie Mandel. I liked Howie Mandel. I grew up with Life with Howie or Life as Howie, Life with Howie, Howie's Life. Shit, what was Howie Mandel's show cartoon from like the early '90s? Bobby's World. Yeah, Bobby's World. Life with Louie was the one I was. Life with Louie was the one I was mistaken with. Yes, sorry. Bobby's World. Yes, thank you, Situation and Jessica. Bobby's World. Like I grew up with Bobby's World, so yeah, I like Howie Mandel, and he's Canadian. Yep. I will almost always support somebody who's like I will almost always have a um Eek the Cat Bobby's. Yeah, Eek the Cat was great. Yeah, I will almost always have a better view of somebody when they're Canadian. Not always, but usually. So I like Howie Mandel. And also, he was the only one there whose career, like, he's the only one there who had a career outside of, I've not seen the New Kids in the Hall yet, no. Like, he's the only one there whose career involved actually doing something on stage. Like he's the only one with a stage, like he was the only one of the judges with a stage career, as opposed to just being like a producer. No, Elaine. It's late. Chantel's probably trying to sleep by now. Wasn't sure why Sharon Osbourne was there. Like Sharon Osbourne was the one who felt the most out of place. She's a producer, so obviously she knows talent. So I get that. But she was the one who felt like she least belonged to a certain extent as one of the judges. She was there because of the Ozzy Osbourne reality show. Yeah, I don't know. Favorite Kids in the Hall actor? Uh, Foley, David Foley. I always like Dave Foley was always so good, and but I mean they were all good. Like there were no bad actors on Kids in the Hall. They were always so great. But yeah, Dave Foley was probably my favorite. Um, and not just because he was uncomfortably attractive as a French prostitute. Bruce Bruce McCullough. I love Bruce McCullough. Strangers with Candy. No. No, I never watched Strangers with Candy. I watched Brain Candy. Howie on the Late Show after Post Malone. Nah. No, I haven't watched the last I haven't watched any late night TV in a dog's age, as they say. It's been forever. Sure thing, Magic. Am I gonna be awake all night? Probably. My favorite color is red. Say hello to Swampy. Hello, Swampy. Nah, I never watched Mystery Science Theater. I don't think back when I had cable, that wasn't on any of the channels that I would have had. I'm not doing a chi ball. Comedy Central back in the day was every Comedy Network here in Canada. Comedy Network did grab a lot of stuff from Comedy Central, but because of uh, because of rules regarding Canadian TV needing to have a certain amount of Canadian produced content, um, Comedy Network also showed a lot of Just for Laughs because it was cheap and easy. Like it was cheap and it got views. Corner Gas, love Corner Gas, fucking love Corner Gas. I would rank Corner Gas as one of the top 10 sitcoms ever made. One of the 10 best sitcoms ever. Corner Gas was just amazing. Like, cannot recommend it. And the only reason that Corner Gas doesn't end up on best sitcoms lists is because it's Canadian and a lot of Americans never got to watch it. If Corner Gas, I haven't actually seen the animated series. I know that Brenton Lacey became an item in the movie, the Corner Gas movie. I did watch the Corner Gas movie. One of the things I really liked about Corner Gas was just the first season had some definite will they won't they between Brent and Lacey. They completely dropped that with the second season. Like they didn't just drop it. They fucking drop kicked it right out of a window. Like they were like, you know what? No, that was a bad idea. We're not doing that shit. And the entire rest of the show, there was no romantic subplots. SCTV? Oh, SCTV. I grew up with SCTV. God damn, that show was good. Like SCTV was an amazing show with an amazing cast. There were no weak points. Like there were no weak spots in the SCTV cast. I mean, it just a ridiculous cast. John Candy, Rick Moranis, Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara. Like it's just holy fucking hell. Most of the cast of SCTV, like most of the SCTV cast, went on to become legitimate legends. There were a few who didn't have as big careers. Still successful. They were still successful. Everyone ended up having a successful career. But most of the SCTV cast became actual legends. What I watch now? I'm still making my way through my rewatch of Next Generation. Hello, Johnny Depp. Rara, you're thinking Saturday Night Live, Rara. And yeah, I mean Saturday Night Live obviously produced some massive legends as well. YTV, Sugar and Carlos, I don't remember, but no, I watched YTV as a kid. Loved YTV as a kid. Had some great shows. Uh, the only the only My Little Pony series I've watched was Friendship is Magic. Has a job fund? Non-existent. Every time I try looking, it's just more than I can handle. Might be able to watch Arthur though. Never watched any Degrassi. I was thinking, no, I never joined any of the My Little Pony communities. Thoughts on escorts? Sex work is valid work. How can I get on here but not job search? Uh, because every time I try to search for jobs, my brain just shuts down. Just watch Kids in the I was watching like I was like 7 and watching Kids in the Hall, I think. Just making OnlyFans. I don't know. Probably not. Would watch them before school. Oh, what do I do all day? I don't even know. I'm sure it will, AM. What do I do all day? That's a very good question. Last time I took the trash out. Uh, either last night or night before. Night before. So it would have been Friday night. I took the trash out. Thoughts of Megan Thee Stallion? Eh. She's not my she's not my type of music, but she's making bank, so the music I listen to. A lot of indie rock. What happens to Chantal Nolan supports me? I suppose I'll be pretty fucked. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I watched a little bit of Sabrina. Did I watch Eurovision? No. British accent? No. Buffy? I never actually watched Buffy. Love that shit. Yeah, I didn't really watch much of Sabrina. I think because it was a girls' show. It was a girls' show, so I didn't really watch it. And the toilet bowl? Nah, you never miss. There's never anything to miss on my lives. Buffy. And Buffy as well. I think I like at that time I was like, yeah, it's a girls' show. Internalized masculinity. Hurrah. Chantel is my roommate. It was cute. Yeah, I mean, from what I recall, yeah, it was a definitely a cute show. Let's see, what were the shows? There was Sabrina, there was Boy Meets World. What were the other TGIF? What were the other shows in that part of the TGIF lineup? Like I remember I remember Boy Meets World. I loved that show. I don't remember what other Home Improvement Family Matters. I don't think they were part of that TGIF, huh? Full House. Those were more daytime shows. Sister Sister, maybe. Yeah, like Full House, Family Matters. Those were more daytime shows, as I recall. No such thing as a girl show. I know that now. I was a dumb kid. Hi, Toka. I did watch Family Matters and Home Improvement, and you're not Bam Steel. Fresh Prince. I watched that one. When did I volunteer? Same reason I don't apply for regular work. What are we doing right now? I think we're talking about old sitcoms. Who's the Boss? Yeah, I remember Who's the Boss. That was a good one. Don't remember it well. Steve Urkel. Yeah, he was Family Matters, which was a show I loved. Mr. Belvedere, I never watched. Saved by the Bell, I watched. Three's Company, I never watched. 90210, I never watched. Golden Girls, I did watch. Uh, Soap, I used to watch Soap. Yeah, Inspector Gadget. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Seinfeld. I liked Seinfeld for a little while, but yes, I do hate it now. Um, I watched Seinfeld when I was young. I hit a point. where I think I hit a point where like I realized that I didn't like any of the characters. Where all the characters are just terrible people. Soap was trippy. Soap was a parody. It was a satire. Soap was a satire of soap operas. So it did a lot of like just wild, over the top plots. Also notable for Billy Crystal playing an openly gay character in a show that's from like the 80s. Like so I think if I'm not mistaken, Soap was a show was made in the 80s. I think it might have been fairly early in the 80s as well. Um and Billy Crystal played an openly gay man, which was, for the time, late 70s, early 80s. That's what I thought. What is your show called? The show is called Soap. And yeah, I'm a fairly young Billy Crystal, which is, ah, Billy Crystal has never been bad in his entire career. Like, Billy Crystal is one of those people who's just always good, always delightful and wonderful. Um, it's impossible to hate Billy Crystal. And dinosaurs. I loved dinosaurs. I loved dinosaurs. Yeah. So I don't. I'm not aware of it being a spinoff or having a spinoff. But yeah, like Billy Crystal, who is always delightful, and young Billy Crystal, and yeah, playing an openly gay man in the 70s and 80s. Like honestly some that's honestly pretty. Billy Crystal was a. Huh? I find that hard to believe. Give me a second. Spin-off from Maud, maybe. Yeah. All right, so it seems like Billy Crystal has become kind of an old man. Like he's got some views that I disagree with, but Billy Crystal also a Mets fan, which is but Billy Crystal is generally pretty delightful, and Bill Burr, doesn't impress me. Well, I mean, I do love. Like I said, he said some shit that I think is bone. He's apparently said some stuff that I think is boneheaded and incorrect, but he doesn't seem to be. He doesn't really seem to be sort of an asshole. Like I mean, he's talked about like cancel culture and shit like that, which, God, fucking nonsense. Blossom. I I watched Blossom. I enjoyed Blossom. What do you say? I don't know. I just saw some headlines. Um and yeah, he's talked about cancel culture. Apparently he had like a bit where he impersonated Sammy Davis Jr., which not a good look, Billy. So I didn't really look into much detail. Like I said, it just seems to be some my favorite Powerpuff Girl. Uh Bubbles. Bubbles is my favorite Powerpuff Girl. Thoughts on Jerry Springer? I used to like Jerry Springer, but Billy Connolly, yeah. I've seen some good. Whenever I've seen Billy Connolly bits, he's good. It's There's a difference between impersonations and a white person and a white guy impersonating a black man. I'm not a fan of Ron Jeremy movies now. Favorite Powerpuff villain? Mojo Jojo. Yeah, Jerry Springer, like Springer shows definitely had some mean-spirited elements to it. Like there is definitely a look at the freaks aspect to the Springer show, which when I got older, I moved away from. Mickey Flanagan doesn't ring any bells. Jenny was just a nice person. Yeah, I never watched her show. Medical racism, yeah, that is definitely seriously. Never really watched In Living Color. I think I might have caught like bits and pieces of it on Comedy Network when I was like a teenager. Yeah, like I'd be a teenager and like I'd be channel surfing and I'd catch a few minutes of In Living Color. Mad TV. I watched Mad TV a little bit when it first launched. You know what I think turned me off of Mad TV? That Swan. That Swan character, whatever her name was. That bit was just painfully bad. Ms. Swan. Yeah, like the Ms. Swan character, those skits were painful to watch. And it was at a time when Saturday Night Live was also getting pretty shitty. So like it was one of those things where like they were I just didn't it started out doing sort of the same type of repetitiveness that I was getting really fed up with from Saturday Night Live. Because Saturday Night Live at that time was getting to a point where it was just every week it was the same skits with the exact same fucking jokes. Nothing new. The spring cheerleader. Yeah, like the cheerleaders, it was the same joke every week with the cheerleaders. Good night, Tammy Fowler. Or Marianne Gallagher, or I don't know, they're just like after Mike Myers and Dana Carvey and Phil Hartman and uh, Adam Sandler and Chris Farley and all those people left. Like after sort of that generation of Saturday Night Live stars left, the show really took a distinct drop in quality. Because at that point, it just became the same punchlines week after week. It's not even that, like, yeah. Because, I mean, classic Saturday Night Live, like, they've always had recurring bits. During the era that I grew up on, Wayne's World was a recurring bit. But at least with Wayne's World, the punchlines differed each week. But after, like, the Will Ferrell era, I think that's what it was. The Will Ferrell era just became the same punchlines week after week. Those fucking the night at the Roxbury guys, it was the same joke every single week. It was literally the exact same joke. And it's like, come on, guys, like, can you get some new material in there? So like I haven't watched Saturday Night Live. I haven't watched Saturday Night Live since. I don't know if it's good or bad right now. Like I have no idea what if Saturday Night Live right now is good or bad. Not a fan of Larry David or Jerry Seinfeld. And hello Pixie. So like I don't know what Saturday Night Live is like right now. It may be a really good show right now. I just don't really care. Really like Nancy Sandberg shut up, but I was also a 15-year-old girl. So yeah, it's just well, I'm not funny, JC. I have never claimed to be funny myself. They're the fucking professionals. Never watched Sopranos. I don't think it's Chantel, actually. No, wasn't Chantel. Paris Hilton? Nah. What have I seen? Not a lot, apparently. Must watch. Pass. There are shows I'd much rather watch. Game of Thrones? Nah. Again, Ace Ventura? Yeah. I loved Ace Ventura when I was a kid, yeah. Yeah, looking back, transphobic. There was definitely some transphobia at the end of that, at the end of Ace Ventura. Um, really shitty in retrospect. And then the second Ace Ventura movie was just not great in general, but I enjoyed them both at the time. Like that's now when Eddie Murphy was on it. Murphy was before my time. Haven't seen Breaking Bad? Nope. I have not watched the new My Little Pony movie. Something About Mary. I have watched There's Something About Mary. I was like, eh. My attitude towards it was pretty meh, to be honest. Breaking Bad, pass. Need to watch Game of Thrones? I don't think I really do. Cringiest thing I've ever witnessed online or in real life? I don't know. I don't really remember most of that. So I liked My Little Pony Friendship is Magic just because it was a well-made show that was really positive and really fun. Like it was a fun, positive show made by people who were making something that they wanted to watch, which I think is crucial when making. I think no, not the original. No, I do not have My Little Pony bed sheets. Yeah, I think one of the things that is crucial when making anything really is to make something that you want to enjoy, that you would enjoy. Traditionally, kids shows suffered because they were made by people who were not really invested. Um, like old kids shows, they were kind of half-assed. The people making them didn't really care about them. They didn't. What they weren't making something that they wanted to watch. Um, Starting in the '90s, I feel like is when it really changed. Uh, in particular, I think Batman animated series and X-Men animated series were sort of major made huge changes to what kids shows could be. Like those two shows, the Batman and X-Men animated series, were vital for revolutionizing kids' cartoons because those were shows that were made by people who wanted to do something that they loved. They were made like they were making something that they wanted to watch. Ren and Stimpy. I mean, Ren and Stimpy, I enjoyed it, but I don't think that really changed anything. After Batman and X-Men, I feel like it opened a floodgate. Like it opened the doors to more high quality kids cartoons. And then, you get today where so many kids cartoons today are made by people who are passionate about what they're making. They are making something that they want to watch. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. That was Lauren Conrad or Lauren shit. I forgot the name of the creator of Friendship is Magic. But like she was making a show that like this was what she wanted to watch. The Netflix She-Ra series. That was something that the creators wanted to watch. Steven Universe. It was made by people who wanted to watch Steven Universe. It was like, this is what I wanted to watch. So, yeah. Kids cartoons in the 80s and earlier, the people making them didn't want to watch them. So they were half-assed. They talked down to the audience. Cartoons nowadays are poisoning kids. What isn't? And Snippy definitely inspired a lot more gross body humor shows. True. I have not seen Harry Potter. Left Gem. Sure. I mean, I'm not dissing your youth. I mean, a lot of people loved those shows. I disagree, Andrew C., but also, to a certain extent, it's a product of its time. Why would I watch Harry Potter? I don't care. I don't give a shit about Harry Potter. Agenda pushing. So, when Harry Potter blew up, I'd reached that point in my life where I developed into a bit of an indie hipster douchebag. No, I never read Harry Potter. Like, I never cared about Harry Potter. So what happened is when Harry Potter really became popular, I had developed at that point into an indie hipster douchebag. So Harry Potter was too popular for me. Like literally that's what it was. Like Harry Potter was just too popular for me. So I was like, no, I will not read Harry Potter. You can't make me. Which is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous stance to take. But and it's something that I still go through. Can I say phase? Not really. Yeah, I'm still like that. There's still a lot of shit that I'll avoid just because it's too popular. Thoughts on Russell Brand? He can be funny. Have not watched Sophie's Choice. So yeah, it's a ridiculous standpoint, but That was who I was at the time that Harry Potter was big. Now, of course, no fucking way I will ever do, like, I will never actually get involved with anything or with anything Harry Potter. No. Harry Potter can just fucking rot. Like, I will never read or watch or play anything Harry Potter. No, it's JK. Like, I'm not going to do anything that supports JK Rowling. No. Yeah, because of JK Rowling. I was unaware of that, Alana Lee. So I'll avoid any Russell Brand shit too. Lord of the Rings. I read Lord of the Rings. Well before the movies. Like, well before the movies came out, I did read the Lord of the Rings books. What's wrong with Rowling? She's a turf. J.K. Rowling is a turf. She uses her platform to push harm onto trans people. TERF is a trans exclusionary radical feminist. New Harry Potter game? So one thing that I've read about it is that, like, it's got this weird, almost pro-slavery message to it from what I've heard about it. Yeah, like I've read that it's just got some weird shit. Harry Potter has always had weird slavery issues with the house. Yeah. Yeah, like that's all, like I've seen people talk about that. That, like, the Harry Potter series that's always had this, like, really weird pro slave cast idea, which was really fucking weird. It's just what I've heard from people. With, like, Hermione being treated as crazy for wanting to liberate the house elves, and then house elves get liberated and they're like, no, no, we want to keep doing we want to keep doing this. Why am I live on my phone? Because my computer wasn't working. So yeah, like I said, it's just what I've heard from people. And then there's the movies turning the goblins into Jewish stereotypes. I just like I don't know, just what I've read about Harry Potter does not make me any more interested in reading it or watching it. Like, my understanding is that in the books, the goblins were goblins. They were just like, there was nothing particularly weird about the goblins in the novels. It was only when they were adapted for the movies that they just became something out of the protocols of the Elders of Zion. You know, like that they became like this. shit out of fucking Middle Ages anti-Semitic propaganda. Books are always better than movies. I mean, I'm inclined to think so. My favorite X-Men era? Hard to say. I mean, probably the Claremont era. Like, I think my favorite X-Men era is probably going to be the Claremont era, but there have been some, and actually the Morrison era as well. I really like the Morrison era, and like between the Morrison era prior to House of M and Decimation, because I really liked mutants living publicly. Like I really liked that there were books, that there were series at that point that were dealing with what life is like as a mutant, living out as a mutant. So like there was, Joe Casey having uh Morrison era with Bishop and Cable. No. No, Grant Morrison didn't use Bishop or Cable, weirdly enough. But yeah, like I think it was Joe Casey. I think Joe Casey did a had an arc where Chamber was dating this British pop star, and the impression you get from the arc is that she was using him for publicity, as a way to like show how cool and liberal and all that she is, which I thought was like really like a really interesting uh angle. And like there were a few other comics, a few other X-Men comics at that time that were doing similar stories about mutants being out. So I liked the Morrison era as well because of that. Hey, Katie. Which Disney princess am I? Probably none of them. Sleeping Beauty, because I sleep a lot. I lost my credit card. I don't even know. I haven't looked up my credit score. Did I find anything wrong with Disney? I mean, yeah. Obviously, there's problematic elements to Disney movies. It's just they're still fun. They're still fun to watch. Like pretty much basically every Disney film has some problematic elements. Doesn't make them less fun to watch. Can you say this about Harry Potter? Sure. Here's the thing: I'm not going to judge people who enjoy Harry Potter. Harry Potter was a big part of a lot of people's lives. I'm not going to say that those people are bad for enjoying Harry Potter. They're not. Um, but you know, I'm not going to have anything to do with Harry Potter. Right, anyway, it's been over 2 hours, so I'm actually going to end the live here. Um, Watch Game of Thrones pass. So yeah, I'm going to end the live right now, and it's been fun aside from having to do it on my damn phone. Um, so yeah, thanks for watching and have a nice night.